Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you are in my ear. Yay.
Okay.
It's just my earbuds. But
Yeah, I
forget.
don't hear myself echoing on this one. So
No, no, you weren't echoing on Anchor. You were echoing on Riverside. So
no, the last link that we just did, I could hear myself in it.
maybe it's the podcast thing I'm trying to use. I turned it off. Well, I went back to just plain old earbuds. I don't remember why I stopped doing that. I think it was because actually I think it's because of Amber when her AirPods when she was talking, Apple would override whatever anyone else was saying. So like you wouldn't hear all three, you would only hear the Apple person, if we were talking at the same time.
Mm.
I think that's why I tried to find other solutions. I don't know. I don't know what people use that works. I guess I have to do a bunch of free trials and experiment.
I mean, Anchor
Uh,
has mostly been fine. So
yeah, I mean, sometimes there's little audio things, but really the one reason I liked Riverside was because we all had our own audio stream. So you would have one, I would have one, and like Amber would have one, and then it would combine them all, so there wouldn't be the audio issues that Anchor gives you sometimes.
yeah.
Um, but maybe I'll try that next time. I'm not prepared for all that right now. Are you in?
Yeah.
Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. I had two things. Did you guys see the trailer that I sent you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you both,
No.
because it was for the Mayfair witches.
Yeah.
I
I
was
may have. I don't remember.
so yeah, spoiler alert, there's Mayfair Witches show coming out after the vampire. Actually, I don't know the actual release date, but you have to watch the trailer. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but is it like the witching hour or what is it?
It looks like it starts with the witching hour because they have Lasher showing up on a boat, and they have some black-haired girl who can only be Rowan, as far as I think. They didn't call her by name, but you could tell it was her in the trailer.
I thought
And he
Deborah
showed up
had
like
black hair.
like she was on her houseboat, and guy shows up at the sliding glass door. Like, yep, I know that scene. I know what's going on. So I was super excited. The vampires are cool and all, but the witches don't get the respect that they deserve. So I'm really excited for that. They're my favorite. Um, there was something else. Oh, I know you're not Simpsons fans, but last week's episode was it. They did an entire episode on it.
Oh, nice.
It was fucking awesome. I loved it.
Feels
They
like
called it
they're.
not.
Sorry, go
They called it not it.
ahead.
What were you saying, Amber?
I was just saying, it feels like they're a little behind on the trend, but.
Yeah, a couple of years, but um, yeah, it's on wherever the Simpsons are available. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Um,
To be fair, though,
so
I feel like it is kind of always trending.
yeah, that damn clown. Um, all right, the last one I broke into two episodes, so I did the last intro technically.
Okay, I can do it
Uh,
then.
yeah, I figured 2 hours was a little more than anybody really wanted to do. So if it's an hour and a half, I'll do it. If it goes beyond that, then I try to split it in two. So
That's fair.
we are on 46. Dark Tower 3 Wastelands part. What fucking part are we on? 2? 3. Wait.
Well,
We're on. Oh, we're on. Well, we're
yeah.
part
This is
2 for us, whatever that means. Yeah, I forget
yeah.
how it's the word in that.
I guess I would just say,
Chapter 3 and
um, yeah,
right?
chapters 3 and 4. You didn't? Did you say the name of them last time? I don't remember.
No, I don't think so. You can if you want. I think Allie did it last time.
I did, and
She
I
she
don't
may
remember.
have. I didn't like repeat it or anything. I just said continuing, our discussion on parts 1 and 2. Uh, so I mean, however, say the chapter if you want. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah. You said episode 46.
Yep.
Okay. And so we are. I forgot how we worded the whole Dark Tower. Like we are continuing our.
Hello and welcome to Going 19, episode 46. Hey, we discuss chapters 3 and 4 from the Wastelands, the third book in the Dark Tower series,
Okay.
and blah blah blah,
All right. Cool.
something like that.
All right. Hello and welcome to Going 19. This is episode 46. Today we are reading chapters 3 and 4 from the Wastelands, the third book in the Dark Tower series. I'm Amber. With me are Ed and Allie. So let's start the show.
Woo woo.
Hello.
I normally want to know what you think, Allie, and I do, but I have to say I am now thinking about this book when I'm not reading it. That has not happened up to this point, so I'm pretty much all in. I'm sitting at work, I can't wait to go home and see what happens, and I know what happens, but I still can't wait to go. It's almost, I know we've said this before, but you have to read this more than once because I'm more excited. And then I was thinking about Amber, and now I'm excited for Amber because she, for the first time, knows what's up around the corner. It kind of changes the way you're reading it. So I'm all in. This is one of my favorite books in the series. So it just keeps going and going. And
well, plus now we have our whole quartet, so it's finally it feels right.
That's the other part. Okay, the gathering is over. The gang's all here. Now let's get this show on the road. Which apparently means walking for a really long time. But
I do like that he kind of thought about that logistically, where it's so now that everyone's here, they can't just walk thousands of miles.
I mean, time's different. I hear there may be a train involved somehow. And I know last time I was really trying to not talk about the train, and then I realized there's a train on the fucking cover of the
well, I mean,
book, so you kind of know there's going to be a train involved at some point.
Jake's whole essay is about a train, and then the children's book, and it's there's no way you can't things are not on accident in Stephen King books.
Yeah.
I like how Roland's staring at him when he's talking to. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself, but he's just staring at him when he's asking him the old timers about Blaine, and he's not saying anything, but he's looking at him what do you know?
Yeah, I like how Eddie all of a sudden is how do you know that, little kid?
You just got here. Yeah. Well, how many times have you died? All right. So, Allie, what do you think? So,
I know you said this is your favorite book. I don't know why I am so not into this one as much as I was the last one. It's just I cannot place my finger on what I'm not liking as much about it. It might be a pace thing, even though it's not feeling like it's moving slow necessarily, but it's not as fast paced as I want it to be.
I guess that's technically true. See, for me, it just kind of keeps it. Yeah, I guess technically not much really happens, right? Well, no, that's not true. I mean,
I do feel like it's fast paced.
I don't when Jake is. So when Jake finds the rose, which I honestly don't remember if that was in this part or last part.
It was
the last part.
That part felt quick, but everything else has just been kind of dragging for me. And I can't explain why. But so I had like 60 pages to finish today, and it took me about 5 hours because I kept like doing other things. Like I would look at my phone, I would take the dog for a walk. Like I just found myself putting the book down because I couldn't stay focused on it.
I could see that while they were in Lud, to a point. You weren't enthralled by
Oh, that's
Jake
true.
coming
I
through the
forgot.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jake coming through the door, I read that part pretty quickly because that was like, okay, like yeah, it's switching back and forth between the different people, but it was still like it got my heart racing because I was like, oh, what? But he has to get through it just a moment, and he opens the door, and oh no, there's dirt behind it, not their world where he's supposed to go. Like that kept me engaged.
Yeah.
But once he was, I don't know.
I think Lud is kind of him showing, and he says it, who Roland used to be. I think it's giving you a little more broader perspective on the gunslinger than I guess what you know so far. Seeing him expand his role, I guess, as to what a gunslinger actually is in it or was before the world moved on.
He was telling them like, everybody look out, you never know what these people are going to be like. And then they like immediately bowed to his feet like, oh, great gunslinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they were crying when he sent him on with a word, and she was crying when he said it. Like, okay,
He's like the Pope.
I know. And these people are what, over 100 years old? Maybe at one point they had that reference, but you hadn't seen a gunslinger in what, 90 years? I don't know that I would like, oh yeah, that used to matter. Great,
They
good
have
for you.
really good memories too.
Yeah.
Like you said, how long has it been since they've even seen them? I guess people still talk about them, but
Yeah.
Well, he's the last one, except for all the ones he keeps making. He's like leaving them gunslingers all over the place.
I did like that part where Roland was talking about how things from both of our worlds slip into each other, and he was like, I saw gunslingers in your world, and I think it was Eddie that was like, no, those were just cops. They are not gunslingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what did he say? You would have ran circles around him or something? Or you did run circles around him.
And his rebuttal was, yeah, but not the last one. I was like, that's just one guy.
Yeah.
So I did forget that for some reason I was thinking that it ended with Jake coming over. I completely forgot about all of the time in Lud for a second. So I would definitely agree that part is harder to get through. I didn't find it that hard just because, again, I'm still like buzzing because I know it's coming. So I'm like, yeah, here we go. It's like all like one big lead up to, the climax.
Yeah. And I'm sure there are things that obviously are going to be more important like when they get into the city. And I guess I'm partially waiting for that.
There's definitely more action.
Yeah.
How far are they from Lud? Because they're in River Crossing, and they're talking about how one day I wish to see that bridge. I just thought it was like a little town a couple miles in front of the actual town, like a suburb of New York or something.
I mean, it could be like 5 miles, but if they don't travel at all, then I don't know.
I guess in that world, 5 miles could be an eternity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were saying stuff like that, like, wait, how far are they from this place? Because the way they talk about the bridge, it sounds like, what did he say? It sounds like the George Washington, I think he said.
Yeah.
And that's a big, massive freaking bridge. You would see that from really far away.
It might be like around a bend or something, though.
It could be. Maybe there's smog. I don't know. Maybe it is the Wastelands after all.
I was trying to pull up it doesn't really help you guys right now, but I have a map.
Oh yeah, I've seen that map.
I would hope so.
Well, I mean, I've seen your map.
Well, you're the one that gave it to me, is what I meant.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Makes sense.
I can send you guys a picture afterward, but it's like I don't know how to space things on the It's like Lud. So River Crossing is as far from Lud as Lud is from Topeka, apparently, and then that is as far from Topeka as is from Caliburn, Bryn Sturgis. It's like all in a
Lud,
line.
we're not ready for Caliber and Sturgis. Lud is really far away from River Crossing. Then
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that this map is not as accurate as it could be, honestly.
it's like a 15th century map of the world.
But anyway, it
No,
seems
drunk.
very far.
Yeah, Jake's run up was informative. It's almost like I know it was just like, okay, just get to the house already. Like I don't care about all this. Like, maybe that's
Yeah,
because I know that the what does he call it? The demon door? No, he calls it
the monster of the mansion or something like that.
The doorkeeper.
yeah,
yeah.
the doorkeeper. Um, like that part I remember he does a pretty good job with the visual with the wall turning into a monster or the whole I don't know like side of the house turning into a monster.
Well, like I
Yeah.
said, I texted you. I said it reminds me of the scenes from Stranger Things in the first season, where that thing is trying to come through the wall. Like it's
Oh, in her
what I
house.
was
Yeah.
picturing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure what scene you're at. I couldn't remember him coming through as in the Stranger Things.
It happens a few times, like throughout the season, and then finally he breaks through the Gorga. I forgot what it's called.
oh at the
Or
end when they're all in what's her name's house with the Christmas lights. Winona
Yeah,
Ryder's house. I can't think of her name.
Will's mom.
No. Yeah, Will's mom. Will with the
Winona
bad
Ryder.
hair. How did he say that? What the hell's her name?
the Winona Ryder.
Yeah. No, I mean Will's
Yeah, I don't know the character. We know who we're talking about.
anyway, yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that scene was just great. It Stephen
Yeah.
King loves to do that whole jumping back and forth thing, I think, to build suspense, and it does. But I agree with what you said before, where it was like, I'm like, come on, Jake, can we just get? I know, especially because we know it's gonna happen. So I'm like, haha, okay, all these things getting in your way, whatever. Let's get on with it.
Yeah, I mean the whole part with him following. Wait, how did Eddie word it? Oh crap! I went to the future and saw you in the past, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that
Uh,
was kind of weird.
that's actually true, and it makes no sense at all. But I mean, it was cool, like seeing Eddie and Henry as kids. Before Henry was, I mean, he was still kind of a douchebag, but a complete douchebag.
Well, he
Uh,
just before he got bigger, basically, because he was a pretty big douchebag even at that age. Like,
Yeah.
wait, oh yeah, that's when he like was slapping the books out of the girl's hand, wasn't it? Was that?
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, he kind of always was a douchebag. Now that I think about it,
yeah.
the problem is Henry wasn't good at anything.
Yeah,
But it was cool to see them, and I can't tell if Eddie knew Jake was there or not. He seems to like when he remembers it later on, say he was aware, but it
well,
sure didn't seem that.
I'm pretty sure he does, but I don't want to say why I think that.
Okay.
Because, well, remember when he whispers something to them right before they walk away? Like Eddie whispers something to Henry, or Henry whispers something to Eddie. I can't remember.
Okay.
And
Apparently that's about Jake.
I think it is, if I remember correctly. Like, I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but I'm pretty sure.
Right. Possible spoiler.
Yeah.
To be determined.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. And
Yeah, Jake's part was really long, I thought. It was cool, but I kept going, okay, how many more in this? Like, my God, get to the house already.
well, that's the whole thing, is like we already did this whole Jake wandering the city being led by some unknown force with the key in the rose. So it's like we don't need to do this again. Like
Yeah,
I
like 100
guess
pages of that, wasn't it? Sorry.
yeah. No, you're fine. I was just gonna say I guess like there had to have been an easier way to just tell him to go to the mansion. Like, did you have to set up this whole thing where you had to meet Eddie and Henry at the movie theater and then follow them to the mansion? Like,
And dream about Eddie first
yeah.
for like 4 pages. And then, yeah, couldn't he just wander back to the rose and like try to touch it and have the rose tell him where to go again? That worked
Like all
out.
of a sudden there's a flyer up.
Yeah. See, I didn't necessarily mind him having to follow Eddie and Henry to the house, but like have Eddie in the dream tell him where the basketball court is and see them there and follow them from there, not like I wander the city and I don't know where to go and a cop stops me and I have to
Yeah.
use the key and it's drawing
Oh
this creepy
yeah.
bread and I was just like I don't care.
Oh yeah, the art teacher or the teacher in the art museum or whatever museum he was in. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like made up drama. Well, I guess it's all made up drama, but like didn't feel, like he just put it in there to pad Jake's story a little bit before we got to the house.
Yeah.
I do think
Said, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do think that, I don't know what it means for us now because the key is gone, but like the fact that the key could just like hypnotize people, I'm like, but it's not the rose. I don't understand.
Yeah, with the cop, that was he was actually drawing too big of. What would have happened if he just stood there with the keys showing it to everyone? I don't know, like an hour.
They would have
Like,
crushed him.
yeah, he probably like say what you got there. And I mean, with a cop in where were they? Central, not goddamn Times Square, right?
Yeah.
What I've been to Times Square, and I don't think I've ever seen a cop give a shit about anybody walking back and forth, no matter how old they are. Maybe in wait, what year were they in? 77. It actually did I think I highlighted that somewhere. We
We
were talking.
did. I wrote it down because we got the official years.
Yeah, I think I had them right. Actually, it was 63, 87. I wasn't sure of. I thought that was when the book might have been written, but I think Drawing of the Three was written in 87. So maybe that's why Eddie came through in 87. And Susanna was 63, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that matters, other than we got an official record for it. So.
I mean, it definitely helps because it seemed to come up a lot.
Well, that's true, and I guess that's because all the things that are. He does actually a pretty good job of having their memories slightly, or their experiences be slightly different based on their time period. He must have done a lot of research. Next guy, okay, 1987. What was going on? Take me through it. Because there was a couple things with it. Susanna, I think, was remembering, and I had half a mind to fact check it because did that happen yet? And they're like, oh, I'm sure he probably, yeah, it probably did. So I didn't bother to look it up. Because he was talking about Odetta came through in 63, and she was saying something about Kennedy. I'm like, wait a minute, he died in 63. I know that for a fact. I can even tell you the date.
But yeah, but that means she would have known about him and how he was a good, whatever she thought about him.
Yeah, it was some kind of reference. I was like, is that right? But, yeah. Anyway, he does a good job of having I can't remember exactly what it was, but their memories were slightly different because of the years that they came through. And the way they talk was a little different. And I think there's a scene, wasn't there a scene at first where Eddie called Susanna something and she's like, we don't use that word or something.
In the last book, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, in my time, that's the polite word.
Right. Yeah, that's the nice way to say it. So I don't know. I don't really want to talk too much about Jake's Wandering the City Part 2. I
Yeah.
mean, long
Like,
story short, he finds the mansion in Dutch Hill. Go ahead.
yeah, I liked like the devolution of him,
He
but
kind of went from a student to not caring in a matter of like 2 days.
yeah.
I don't know if I would put it quite like that because he had been going insane for a while prior to that.
Well, I was going to say that. Yeah, that probably didn't help his giving a shit about school situation when you can't even, when you remember dying, yet you hear like, I like how he's arguing with himself. He's like, "You're dead." Like, no, you're not. I died. No, you didn't. You're right here, stupid. How could you be dead? Like, oh, yeah, I remember dying. So I can see how maybe you would
But he
want.
even said to them, like when they were all telling their stories, he was like, "That was the moment I decided to give up."
I like when he's in the house and he says, "What does he say?" That's the moment he just let panic overtake him, and he gave and something like that too. Like,
Yeah.
that the part you're talking? No, you're talking about a different one.
No, I'm talking about later on, but I did like that part where he said he was just gonna like let it like go to sleep, let it take him and not ever wake up and not worry about it again. But then what he saw made him so afraid that it like woke him back up. He was like, no, 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 gonna survive, can't do this.
Yeah, well, he started to run away. Yeah, that's what it was. He started to run away instead of running out of the house. He ran deeper into the house, and then he's like, "Fuck this, I give up." And then what the thing came off the wall or out of the wall or something, like a hand came out or a shoulder or something. He's like, "Nope, no, okay, change my mind. Need to get the fuck out of here. I don't want to go that way."
Yeah.
I can't imagine that would be a pleasant
I
experience.
I definitely had that thought was like, I wonder what he saw. Like I wonder what it looked like.
I think he did a pretty good job with the visual. I had a little trouble
No,
picturing.
I don't mean, I just mean specifically in that moment to make you, if you're ready to basically die, but then you're so afraid that your natural instincts kick in and won't let you die. Like, what is that? What are you seeing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. How bad was that? Yeah. Like, I'm gonna just curl up in a fetal ball. No, I'm not. Out of here. Did you?
Yeah, that must be pretty bad.
Soon Henry was puffing like Charlie the Choo Choo going up a steep hill. Guys like Henry were always smokers. Interesting. Sounds a little judgy. I don't know. What's a guy like Henry? An asshole? Assholes are always smokers.
Yeah, like a lot of people are smokers.
Or bullies.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. You think? Yeah. The Simpsons did the knife scene when he kicks him and flips over the guardrail. Pretty good too.
Oh, yeah, that is cool
Um,
to see. Not for Ben, but
it was Ralph. Wait, no, it was Homer. Sorry, Homer was Ben.
Uh,
Um. So yeah, Sean was here. Never mind. That's not, we're on a podcast. So Jake almost gets eaten. And
well,
can you imagine? And that's what I'm trying to picture. So I mean, I had a little bit, like I was saying, I had a little bit of trouble picturing the plaster and the house coming to life. And then they talk about the people outside in the street, like saw something. Can't remember what he said, and I'm like, what did they think is happening in there? Because they have to see and hear. I I don't know
yeah.
where Dutch Hill Mansion is, but apparently there's no houses too close to it because it's making a hell of a lot of noise, and nobody's coming running to see what the. And it's been making this tearing apart noise for some time now.
I mean, I don't think you would want to go running towards it because it, like somebody's asked like if it was an earthquake. So I would imagine if anything, you're gonna run away from it.
It didn't seem like any emergency services were in a hurry to get there.
yeah. When it sounded like they were seeing the house like kind of folding in on itself, and that was kind of like a really cool thing to visualize.
Right.
Yeah.
Poltergeist that week. Have you guys
It
seen
is.
Poltergeist?
No.
It's exactly what the house does at the end. It folds in on itself and disappears.
Oh.
It is kind of movie-like to picture a scene where it's like Jake is being chased by this monster house, and then it flashes to the outside where everybody down the street is like, "What is going on?" And then a big crack comes down the middle of the street, and then flashes back over to. Well, actually, I don't know if that happened yet, but like
And
between
then
the
it
three
flash,
scenes.
and he grabs the door, and there's a wall of dirt, and he goes, "Oh no!"
Oh yeah, let's not
Uh,
forget what Susanna's doing on the other side of that door.
we haven't talked about that.
Yeah, like it is not necessary.
The other, so which side of the door would you rather be on?
Well, who
Neither.
am I?
Depends on
Roland's
who you
job is
are.
not that
Yeah,
bad. Yeah.
yeah. Roland, Eddie's not too bad either. He's just got to get out of his own head, and make the damn key work already.
That's
And I like
true.
how the door didn't open, and it was a wall of dirt, and he took off a sliver. I think he said so thin it was almost transparent. I'm like, really? That's what was stopping it?
Yeah, right. How could
Yeah.
you even notice that?
Yeah. How did you picture? Because in my mind's eye, even if I think I have it perfectly, I wouldn't have been able to make that kind of a minute difference in my memory. Like it would
Well,
exist, and I'd be like, that looks close enough.
you're not a
And of
gunslinger,
course,
are you?
I am not, because I've never met Roland. If I had, I would be. I know whenever I carve wood, I always carve off too much, and I have to grab another piece. So I probably wouldn't have been a good Eddie. Ironic
Hold on, Jake.
as that
Let
is.
me carve another one.
Yeah, go figure. I wouldn't be a good Eddie. Damn it. I think. I mean, I guess. Yeah. Was there ever a chance where that demon was going to be female? Because I don't feel like there was. Like that demon was going to be male from the second we learned there was going to be a demon.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way.
It just seemed like it was Susanna's destiny and not Roland's. He was just like, fuck it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It could also be. What makes you say that?
It just felt like it was heading. I don't know. It just felt like it was heading towards Susanna having to deal with the demon, and I don't know. Maybe I'm tainted because I knew that already.
Well, I was just thinking it could be because Roland is so casual about a lot of things, and like he's been through this before, so he's like, "You got to do what you got to do, girlfriend."
Well,
Yeah,
and
I don't.
also he's been through this before, so the reader wants to see someone else go through the struggle, because we saw Roland do that in the first book.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true. See, so what's he gonna do? Do like the same thing all over? Although he didn't really go into detail about Roland in the, fucking the demon the way he did with Susanna.
True.
That was a lot more. I don't know. She was giving it what he wanted, so he didn't want it anymore, to the point that he was screaming to get away from her. Okay.
I don't think it was necessarily just that. I think it was also like I don't know if you can really hurt a demon, but like it seemed like I don't know, like it was in pain somehow, but also I don't know, maybe it was just that it couldn't leave and it wanted to because she wanted it. I don't know.
Yeah, what is it? What is this? A 5-year-old petulant demon here? Like, I only want it when now that you want it, I don't want to do it anymore. like the red ball you're playing with, I only want it because you have it.
And also, like, what was he going to do in the first place? Try to stop them from going through the door or building the door?
This is how many demons have we met now? This is the third one. We had the speaking demon, or we had the Oracle.
Right.
Yeah, the Oracle. We had the one in the wall with the jawbone at the way station.
Yeah.
We had Roland's demon, and now Susanna's demon.
Wait, I thought the Oracle and the speaking demon were the same thing.
It might be. I'm just.
Okay, I don't know.
We had the one at the way station. We had the one Roland had to deal with at the Oracle, and we had the one that Susanna's dealing with.
Yeah.
I think I would stay away from stone rings and demons at this point. It doesn't.
Well, like Did they have? Okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe I think this. Did they have to use that spot like for some kind of magic to create the door, or like because it definitely?
That's what it seemed like.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, and why do you have to draw a door in the dirt when it's raining and it could wipe the whole thing away? Well, that seems like a stupid plan.
There's like enough magic,
Maybe,
but not quite enough.
right. We have enough magic to draw a portal between two worlds, but not to keep the rain off of it. Maybe you should
Easy.
use a different, I don't know, go buy a tarp. I'm sure Roland's got a tarp in his
They've
gunner.
had
Wait,
severe skin tarps. So that went up before. It's like you can tell it's gonna rain. Huh.
right. It's not like it wasn't cloudy when you were walking up to the damn ring. Why aren't these things better guarded? I feel like they're pretty dangerous places to wander into. Jake's
Guarded
done
by
it.
whom?
I don't know, the Farsons men. I guess there's nobody guarding anything at this point. But,
I was like, are you talking about the Dutch Hill Mansion or the speaking ring?
no, the various demon rings that seem to be littering Roland's world. Oh, and Roland calls it Earth at one point. So
I noted that too.
yeah, we have confirmation. But then he says something about a different world. So I don't fucking like. I think Stephen King hasn't decided yet.
Wait, where does he call it Earth?
I
tell you
wrote
when I
down
find
the
it.
page number. Was that this time or last time?
It was this time, I think.
Oh yeah, page at the bottom, all caps. Roland calls it Earth. Page 232.
Oh, I'm way past that. That's 232. Yep, I highlighted it. Earth. One of the large kingdoms which dominated the earth. Yeah, that should be in all capitals.
Yeah.
It's just
I
an
was like,
innocuous
what?
little
You're just
word
gonna
there.
slip that in there? Yeah.
Well, I guess
Mm.
because it's not capitalized, so maybe he means Earth as in like general terms,
Like
like
dirt, the
we
land,
are
that kind of
standing
thing.
on Earth, not this is planet Earth.
Oh, that might be a good point. God damn it! Way to take away my confirmation.
Yeah, actually, you're right. The way that's phrased could definitely be just Earth or dirt.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that makes way more sense because, like I was saying, I mean, it's not supposed to be Earth, so.
I don't know. Well, all right. I don't know that we've determined that yet. Is it alternate Earth or a different world? I think that's one of the great mysteries.
I also think
Every
alternate
time,
Earth is a different world, but I guess that's semantics.
well, yes, but I don't know how to word it correctly, I guess. Yes, is it an alternate Earth or is it fucking Jupiter or something? A different universe completely. Well, that would still. Okay, so if you're on alternate Earth, do you have the same sky? Is it everything the same? Is this like an episode of Sliders? Wait, are you guys old enough?
No.
What?
Well, I don't know what that is, so.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Quantum Leap? No, that doesn't work. Sliders, they like opened a hole in the universe and they kept going to different worlds trying to find a way back to their world. But it was like the same universe because everything like there's the same sky no matter where they went, so the stars and the sun were all had the same alignment. But we'll figure it out one day. I don't think he's figured it out yet. So
Well, that might not be the case then, because I mean, Eddie and Susanna have both noted that they're different stars.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the stars are mad at each other and scowling at each other across the sky.
When this reminded me randomly of when Roland met the Aunt Tabitha. Is that her name?
Talitha.
Talitha. And supposedly he made a joke, but I didn't understand what was the joke, like about her being old mother.
Same.
That was the joke.
But what?
He called her old mother, so he was at once uh calling her old and making a pun about the star, is the way I took that.
But how is that a pun about the star? Like, it's just wait. I
Because the
forgot the
star's called
sentence. Though.
the star's
No,
called
I know
old mother.
that. That's not what I
Well,
mean.
okay. Well, do you know what a pun is, right?
No, can you just explain it to me?
Well, what don't you understand about the pun when he called her old mother? That's like,
But that's not a pun. Like, that's a comparison.
but it's used in a way that's not necessarily intended in this sentence. I think I thought the joke was he was calling her the star. So like, that's the way I took that.
But
It
why
took
is
me a
that a
second.
good or bad thing? Like, what does that mean? To call someone old mother, what does that mean? Like, translate that for me.
Well, she's 100 years old. The mother's the giver of life. I don't. What do you mean? What are you looking for here? I'm not sure. Why
Okay.
did he call it a 100-year-old woman old mother? Is that what you're asking me?
No. I just don't. So you're saying because she's old and they have a star called Old Mother, that's the joke.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Ask Steve. I hear there's a house for sale. There's another house for sale on his street. So, or well, not his street. The street that he used to live on. What's the name of the street? The one he always used to dream of living on Broadway. Do you remember the one? What did he tell us? The senator's house, right? Across the street.
Sure.
I think there's another one like 2 houses down from the senator's house across the street that's for sale. So they're dropping like flies around him. I don't know what's going on.
He's not even there.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever at that house. Whose car did they say that was when I
Tabby.
asked him? No, that was a couple tours ago. I think it was. Oh, did he? Oh no, he did say Tabby. I think 2 years ago it was
Another
joking.
kid. Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we're off track. So,
We
the hell were we talking about?
were
Time
just talking about how
portals.
it's a different world, yeah.
I like how Jake's like, yeah, Marquee Academy. Oh, they're like, oh yeah, and then it's the drunk, sleeping in the trash cans. It's like, wait a minute, there's no Marquee Academy. There's a Marquee Street, but there's no academy. And they're like, where's that? Should have led with that. So apparently Dutch Hill's on Marquee Street, or the mansion.
Yeah, like all of that just feels. I mean, it's not like I didn't enjoy it, but it's so much for him to just get to this house and then get to the door, get through the door.
I remember the Wastelands was basically like two parts. It was like getting Jake and then the other part.
Yeah.
I didn't remember getting Jake being that long. I thought it was like, okay, we got Jake, now let's move on. And then we haven't even talked about Mr. Gold Ring Dies yet.
I know.
I love him.
Yes.
What'd you say?
I already love Oi, the belly bumper.
I hate his name, but I love him. I never liked his name.
Well,
But
it makes no sense because, like, why is Jake calling an animal boy?
Yeah, that is a little weird.
I think that's the times. I like you used to call your dog that. Come here, boy.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
I
true.
guess people still say that, like, "Oh, good boy," or like, "Come here,
Yeah.
boy."
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call a big ferret boy, but you know, I get why he called him that. I just don't like the is that what we're going with? You couldn't get anything better than Oi. But now he's Oi and he's Oi forever, so there's no getting around that.
Yeah, I don't know. In my mind, that just gives him an Irish accent, like, "Hey, Oi."
Now that you are aware of his existence, you should Google some pictures because there's some cool ones out there. Did you do it already?
Yes, I did because I wanted a visual, and I was like, these
Yeah.
are all super cute.
Yeah.
I keep writing down all of the different things that he says about them. I'm like, this animal is like a child's dream. Like, he says, badger crossed with a raccoon with large gold-rimmed eyes, a long and closely coiled tail. And then he says, what does he say the next time? Oh, yeah, a combo between a raccoon and a woodchuck with a dash of Dachshund. Dachshund? Dachshund?
Dashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's something maybe Naomi made up when she was 5 years old.
Yeah.
It does sound like a child, literally a child's dream animal. And Allie, I don't know if you remember, but I was asking you if you'd seen my bumper sticker. Amber got me one last year, I think, that says "I love my Billy Bumper."
Oh,
Billy
no.
Bumper. And it's just slightly crooked, and I can't fix it, obviously, because it's too late now. So I just have to deal with it. My OCD hits it every time I look at
Apparently so.
it. Yeah. So the gang's all here. I didn't realize when I sent you that message, Amber. It was like right after Jake got there and right before Jake always showed up. Because like always come. I was like, the gang's all here, yay! And I was like, well, not Oi, but he's coming. I didn't realize how quickly he was coming. I forgot about like Jake got there and then Oi got there. It was almost at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely surprised because, like, we've been, like we met the Billy Bumblers before, and we've been hearing a little bit more about them.
He's
So it's
definitely
like,
been like leading up to it. A
yeah,
Billy Bumbler that remembers men. I've seen such a thing. And then, well, all I can say is I remembered some things that make the timing make a little more sense.
yeah.
I think the cat just pooped, so I can smell his cat poop right now. I think she does that on purpose. Sean had Marley here, and so she had to come after they left, sniff everything in the house to make sure it still smelled the same. Yeah, so Oi,
You were gonna say something.
I forgot his voice. I was
Okay.
going to talk about the way if you listen to the audiobooks, I always thought it was a weird voice when they have Oi talk, but the way he describes it, it's like he sounds like a gruff old man, and that's exactly the way he kind of describes it. I don't remember.
That's what I was thinking based off of what you had told me, or maybe I've heard it before. I don't know. And I was like, oh, that is what he's supposed to sound like.
Like, hey, boy, Owen. Yeah, like he sounds grumpy, but isn't he always smiling? No, maybe not.
Well, I would imagine they don't have like vocal cords, so they, it's like however birds talk. Can't be very articulate.
Well,
I don't mind.
I don't know.
I imagine it would
Somewhat.
be like a fox talking.
I imagine it more like a parrot with a
Right,
gruff
but I'm
voice.
pretty sure parrots use their tongue or something. I just watched something where I learned that. Like they don't have vocal cords, they use something else.
The Secret Life of Pets. Wait, is that right?
Yeah.
No, that's not right.
The Hidden Lives of Pets.
Right. Yeah, I think I just named it. I think I just named a Pixar movie.
Yes,
the animated
which is
one,
also very cute.
Which I saw the second one, and I just watched DC's League of Super Pets. That was pretty funny too. It's where it's like Superman's dog and Batman's dog.
Oh,
but it's like The Rock. Yeah, it was cool. It was The Rock and Kevin Hart for the pets. So
yeah.
they have a thing where they have a contract that says they have to be in every movie together. Like Chris Farley and David Spade a long time ago. I've subjected Amber to much Chris Farley over the years. I guess anything more on Dutch Hill? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, the whole scene is intense. Like it's almost like a movie scene. It's starting to rain. There's lightning. Susanna's thrusting against an invisible icicle. At the same time, I'm not sure what Roland's doing. Eddie's trying to draw a door and yelling at Roland to like cover the lines he's drawing in the dirt so they don't melt away in the water. Meantime, Jake has a foot in the mouth. Oh yeah, he's got like his legs in the demon's mouth, and then his shoe comes off, and the demon takes his pants off. So when Eddie finally takes the transparent sliver off and unlocks the door, Jake comes through in his underwear with one shoe on.
I thought he lost both shoes.
Was it both shoes?
I don't know.
Oh,
Either
I think
way.
he lost one shoe. I don't remember when he lost the first shoe, but the second shoe came off when he lost his pants.
You know,
That would
Jake's
make
been
sense.
through a lot. Well, Jake's been through a lot already. I feel like he should be good for the rest of it. Smooth sailing from here on out.
He's a young kid, so chances are that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's right at that 12-year-old age that he likes to do stuff.
Oh,
I'm not. I was
not
gonna
that
say
it
do stuff
matters,
to kids, but that sounds really awful.
but he is
Yeah.
11.
Do we know that? Oh, okay. Well, he'll be 12 by the
He
time.
said it. So.
You know, give me a couple books, he'll be 12. And then how do we get rid of the demon?
So I was wondering if they had that plan the whole time, or if that was like spur of the moment. Because I was like, okay, like Susanna let go of it, and then it was so scared, it like flew away from her into Roland's arms, who grabbed it and pushed it through the door, and then threw it down the monster's throat.
I feel like Roland may have been planning that because he told Susanna from the start, like, don't let it go until I tell you.
That's true.
I think Roland, if not before they got there, not long after they got there, maybe when he realized what Jake was going through, definitely did that on purpose. I don't think.
No, I think he did it on purpose. That's not what I mean. It just means like it seemed like a very complicated plan that worked perfectly. Like it's a little too easy. Not easy, but like
I think Eddie even says that at one point. Oh, page 243, the very bottom. Eddie did not know the phrase "deus ex machina," but he had now grown up enough to know that such wise and comely folk live mostly in comic books and B movies. So is he admitting to something there?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Right, because I feel like he's been deus ex machina in his ass off.
And it only gets worse.
Yeah, I mean, he's all about the build-up, not about the takedown. So it's like, oh crap, now what do I do?
Insert magic
First
hand
Jake.
in the sky.
Yeah, let's just introduce some new people so we can get rid of them and everybody will still be okay. Like the red shirt guy in Star Trek. Don't ever wear the red shirt because you're gonna die.
Hello everyone, that is the end of episode 46. It actually went long, about 2 hours when we recorded it, so I split it in half. So next week we'll do the second half for episode 47. So that is the end of 46. Stay tuned next time. Everybody say bye. Bye.